Hi everybody, it's Alan here. Just going to do a quick video on stuff I've found over the last few weeks. You can see some things behind me. There's an acid jazz comp. Kingdom Come, Arthur Brown Journey. It sounds phenomenal. I had a comp with some of that stuff on, and wow, that sounds amazing. Really powerful. A nice rare classical album there. There's Scotty School Days, another rare find. It was a nice pickup. Is Red Exposure by Chrome. Not their best. Blood on the Moon and Half Machine Lip Moves are probably better. Shades of Deep Purple is a phosphorescent album with that wonderful song for Zulu. It's the best thing he ever did. And as a loop album there. Hiding Away, Fade Out. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. Anyway. If you've seen my Instagram, you'll have seen some things I've picked up. I'm just going to flick through quite quickly. Here's an original copy of Arcadium. An amazing find. It's on Middle Earth. And these are notoriously badly pressed. Most of them have really bad sound and they aren't very good. This one actually is pretty good. There's a couple of moments where it's a little bit crackly, and you can see by looking at the vinyl it does not the best quality, but it sounds really good. It's not as bad as I was expecting it to be. And yes, you know where I bought this. It's one of those. An absolute mega find. This also is an original album, Bim Sherman meets Horace Andy and You Black. Wonderful dub reggae. Now, I'm not the biggest reggae fan by any means, but this album is just wonderful. The A side, especially, where it's just him doing his versions of all three songs, and all follow into one another. Get it out eventually. Wonderful stuff and highly recommended. It's really laid back and not dull, and just kind of elevates you somewhat. It sort of takes you somewhere, which I don't find a lot of reggae does. I find it's quite grounded with the rhythm, but this is quite elevatory to your spirit. As is this. It's quite a cheap find really. It's Satima B. Benjamin Wind Song. The A side in particular is quite moving. The title track is a 13-minute piece. You've got Kenny Barron, Buster Williams, Billy Higgins on here. Yeah, the A side particularly is very moving. Side 2 has a slightly more sort of lighter sort of feel to it, but the musicianship and the craftsmanship and the quality of this music is exceptional. Worth checking that out. Here's a copy, which is quite rare in this country, of the Blue Nile, the original sticker. Of course I didn't pay that for it. There's a Walk Across the Rooftops. Lovely album. Wasn't expecting to like it really. It's on Lynn. Get that there. And lovely sounding record, and the songs, the craftsmanship again, the quality. Quite exceptional. I can see why it's highly desired. Lovely stuff. This is Edgar Broughton Band, self-titled. This is an original. Let's get that there. Picked it up from you know where. Gone out for a day. Just thought I'd just try a shop somewhere else. Oh, look, I found this. Super cheap, and for me it needed a clean, but it does sound really good now, and for me Inside Out is still their best. Some people would disagree, but the sound on this is quite marvellous. This is for one that I was looking for ages, and I never really find it, never really come across it, and they're going up in value all the time. Fantastic progressive record, but not over the top progressive, long-winded and drawn out, quite concentrated and intense in places. Here's a copy of Dire Straits live at the BBC. This is quite a rare record. It's printed in the 90s, hasn't been released on vinyl since. You know, I went into a charity shop and there it was up on the wall. I hadn't been to this particular shop for about 2 years. It was quite away from where I live. Before I'd go out for the day, and I just popped in and a really nice little find. 3 or 4 of the songs actually sound very similar. Similar kind of melodies and stuff, and hooks and rhythms, which surprised me. I'm not the biggest Dire Straits fan, but of course I still listen to Brothers in Arms sometimes because I think that album has a quality which a lot of records do not have. But yeah, very nice find, and the sound quality, as you could expect from the BBC, top notch. Very rare as well. Here's a synth compilation on Tunnel T1. There's all sorts of different bands on here which are on the label Tunnel Records. Again, a very rare album. A lot of new wave sort of synth stuff. Really good, and I definitely recommend, if you're into that kind of thing, checking that out. Quite unknown stuff, but yeah, cold wave and really good stuff. Here's a copy of the Lars, a nice original. Don't need to show it, it's just a lovely, lovely album. Utopia, Amandel spin-off, of course. Wonderful sleeve, there we go. And people might say it's Amandel Light, but it has enough quality and what should we say, it doesn't lose interest, and the musicians are still as great as they always are. There's a lighter feel to it, definitely, but there's still the usual kind of angular and slightly odd rhythms. And I recommend, if you've never heard it and you're into Amandel, you will love. I think you'll love it. I think you'll check it out. It's not dissimilar in places to Wolf City. In fact, Deutsch Nepal is covered on here, shall we say. Wonderful stuff. Racing through because I want to keep it super short. Amandel, Carnival in Babylon. This is the one where Julian Cope said in Crack Rock Sample he fell in love with Renata through his picture. Wonderful album, overlooked in their canon. I think it's probably the least talked about record of theirs, but wonderful stuff. And I think this is probably, partly because of the production, the vocals are slightly low in the mix, but a fantastic record and well worth getting, of course. There's a copy, an original copy of The Sunday's Blind, very rare record. Slightly jangly, slightly poppy, wonderful indie stuff, very rare. This is a reissue of Azimuth, another exceptional album. The production on this is absolutely incredible. This is reissued by the original label. They haven't been off that label, and as a result, you know, it still sounds amazing. It's not like someone else has come in and done a bod's job. The quality is unparalleled, I think. The songs are just wonderful. The whole thing just is a beautiful, beautiful listen. Highly, highly recommended. Anyway, that's about all I've got time for, because I'm flicking through and my time is running out. So I'll see you later. Bye bye.